Welcome to Coming Home. I'm your host, Dr. Onalee. My intention today is to remind you that God is going to test you, not because you're being punished, but to see how strong you are and how willing are you to stand in the faith of your desires and wait out to see if God's promises come true. I wish more people talked about this. I've heard some people say, God doesn't test you. And I think that that can sometimes throw us off because then when something comes to us that is a test, we think that it's random. I wish that I had more information about tests so I could approach them properly. I fell for a lot of tests in my life not knowing what it was. So it's now my intention to really support you when the test does come, because the test will come. When you put it out there, for example, that you are manifesting your soulmate, the love of your life, what I've seen in my experience and now working with thousands of clients over the past few years is that somebody or something that seems really close is going to come into your experience. Of course, there's exceptions to every rule, but for the most part, we will be tested a few times. We usually don't marry the first person we date. We usually go through a few, some of us more than others. What I have seen in my own experience is that somebody who would really match my manifestation list would come into my experience, but my issue was that I was caring too much about the physical or the superficial that I wasn't discerning enough with how I felt with this person. That can really blind people. It can make you think that this is the love of your life or this is the person you should be with because they are so close to what it is that you were asking for. Maybe you were also asking for a single dad, and this single dad comes into your life. He's been married before he has kids. You've been married before you have kids, and you have a desire within you to be with this kind of partner. But what happens is when the test comes, you then will override and tolerate certain behaviors that aren't fully what you want or what you deserve because your desire is so strong for a single man who's been married before and who has kids. So I'm very big on helping my clients still hold on to the desire. The desire is beautiful. That's God given. But this is where, when we want to be in our power, we want to step into the promised land, we want to actually live our dreams, which a lot of people on this planet have big dreams, but they never live them out. I want to speak to you, somebody who attracted and manifested this conversation into their existence because you have big dreams for your life, whatever they are relatively to you. The way that we operate is not the way of the world. The guidance that other people give is not going to necessarily be the same that I'm going to share right here. To me, a sin is really settling. It's going against the promises and the desires of my heart, thinking that this time will be different or making it work. It's like trying to fit a puzzle piece that might be so close to what you want into the puzzle, and it's just not quite right. Sometimes the puzzle piece doesn't even look like it at all. We're trying to jam it in, and then we're throwing our hands up frustrated, saying that this puzzle is stupid, it doesn't work. And then a lot of us blame God, or we say we're doomed. We keep attracting narcissists. I keep attracting avoidance. Something must be wrong with me. 3 people in a row cheated on me. What I've come to find is that a lot of times we're just shoving the wrong puzzle piece. We are not waiting and taking the time to be patient to sift and sort and find the right, correct puzzle piece, the one that actually fits, the one that's going to require a little bit more time and a little bit more patience, which most people don't have. A prayer I like to share, it's a dangerous one, is God, give me the strength, the stamina, the patience, and the endurance to not settle. Because to me, a sin is basically saying, here's the desires of my heart that God gave me. Here's somebody or something that goes against those desires. I'm going to go for that and settle for that. And then I'm going to get mad and think that God doesn't love me and my life doesn't work when I am the one who made the choice with my free will to go against my God given desires. How many of you are doing that? If I were to look at your manifestation list, you want this tall, dark, handsome man who's dependable, reliable, treats you well, puts you first, feels like your best friends, the love of your life. And then what is this person, this narcissistic or unhealthy person that you are settling for, or you settled for in the past? Were they truly the man that you desired? Sure, we don't have to get caught up on physical things, but I know for me, it always bit me in the ass when I would go against my God given desire of what I wanted physically. It didn't work for me. And I even had podcast episodes where I said, oh, I don't think that that's a big deal. So now here I am with more information, more updates. I do think it's a big deal. I do think God gives us certain desires of our heart. And I actually do think we are meant to be picky. I used to think it was so wrong to be picky. But by not being picky, that's where we keep settling and getting in the wrong relationship. And then that's where a lot of divorces and breakups and heartbreak and despair come into play because we weren't picky, because we were going against our God given desires. To me, I truly believe God wants us to be happy. God wants us to live a life of abundance in our dreams, whatever that looks like relatively to us. But if we keep going against our desires and settling and playing small and staying too long in incorrect relationships, we're never going to experience the glory of God's promises. And I think we have a loving father or higher power who really wants to give us good, but isn't going to give us evidence that when we're settling or staying in an incorrect or toxic relationship, that it works and that that is of God. So I'm inviting you right now, really take a look at the tests that are in your life. Did you attract in somebody with a lot of synchronicities or who seems like the kind of partner that you want? I've seen this with a lot of clients when they want a man involved in the church or a spiritual man. They'll attract in a man of the church, but somebody who isn't loyal, isn't faithful, isn't fully good to them, isn't fully choosing them. So what happens is a lot of times we'll override how they're actually treating us and how we actually feel with them because we get too caught up in thinking this must have been the perfect partner for me. That's exactly what I was asking for. And God brought them into my life. So I'm very big on having you not fall for the synchronicities and pay more attention to the way you feel with this person. Do you feel chosen, respected, adored? Do you feel like a priority? Can you trust them? Do you have peace in your heart? Or when you're not with this person, do you not know when you're going to hear back from them? Do you not know if they're with another woman? Do you have anxiety? Do you feel like there might be a day you never know if they're going to wake up and leave you, even if you did let them back in and they did clean up their ways? Would that feeling ever fully go away? For me, I had to let go of a lot of relationships that seemed good on paper and the person was good to me, but I didn't have a peace about them. And I didn't love the way that we would handle arguments or disagreements, the way the conversation turned. Whether they're right or weren't right, I didn't like it. And so I had to learn to be confident and courageous and brave on my journey to walk away from incorrect situations, even if there wasn't a direct blow up fight or cheating involved. That sometimes is harder when you don't have something to blame it other than I'm not fully attracted to you, I don't have peace about this, or I don't like the way certain things and dynamics are going on in the relationship. And I think this is where most people would still go through with a marriage or staying in a relationship or living with somebody longer than is correct. So I want to be a voice of reason to really empower you that if something isn't feeling right, you don't have to stay in it or talk yourself into making it work. That is why so many people get divorced and stay in very unhealthy relationships. I don't think there's enough encouragement that when something isn't wrong, and some people might say you need to fight for love. I think that's so unhealthy. And I think that's why our divorce rate is so freaking high. It doesn't even work. We are meant to be happy. We're meant to be joyful. We're meant to be free. We're meant to feel love. But most of us never feel that because we settle or we stay too long with the incorrect person. And I want to change that. I want to help us be with the right people, be with your soulmate, but really take your time and be discerning and be in your confidence and your power and your self-worth to not even get into the wrong relationship in the first place. And the moment you know that it's incorrect, that you walk away and don't even get to the point of marriage, that would be something I would love to bring to the planet and really help us all with. So that is my intention with today's session, is to be mindful of the tests. Don't fall for just what's on paper and thinking they're very close to what it is that you wanted. Really be mindful and discerning of how they treat you and how you feel when you're with them and how you feel when they're not with them. That is what is really, truly important. That's how you're going to end up with your soulmate. That's how you're going to experience real love and peace and abundance and bliss and God's promises. And if this is a conversation that you really like, this is what my Man Empower or my Woman Empower program is for. I share videos, I go live in a Facebook group, but I also have a content hub of so many different categories to help you attract love, heal from heartbreak, learn how to say no, learn how to be rejected, heal your masculinity, your femininity, step into your power, your beauty, your worth, be the dream man, be the dream woman, really prepare for them. This course is the new thing that I am really focusing on in my business. It is going to be the main way to work with me. I will still take a few one-on-one clients here and there, but if you want to work with me, this is the way that I love to support you. A Facebook group where you can support each other. I can support you. You can ask questions. You can share when you're sad, when you're happy. Come rain or shine. This is the new way that I want to really be able to hold and support so many more of you. At the time of this recording, you can join Man or Woman Empower for 50% off. Use code LOVE50. And if at the time that you are watching this, if that code doesn't exist anymore, just shoot me a message and see if there is a code or what the current pricing is. But let me tell you right now, it is phenomenal. You get lifetime access to it. Once you're in the group, you get all of the content. You get the Facebook group. You don't have to go anywhere. I just think any empathetic kind of man or woman, somebody who wants to really be in their power, to be a confident person in relationship and outside of relationships, I think you will really, really, really benefit from these two programs. So I would love to have you. Send me a DM on Instagram or go to the link in the show notes below. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. I'd love to hear from you, and I'll be talking to you soon.